I've been doing this a long time. I've been doing this over 3 decades. And we probably had a 4 or 5 day stretch that I never thought would be happening. You had coaches fired, GMs fired. You had a guy playing quarterback who hadn't played quarterback and just pulled off a practice squad. You got a game moved. You got a team in San Francisco that doesn't have a home anymore. Other than that, just another regular weekend, right? And if you're looking for one game that encapsulates all the problems in the NFL with COVID, look no further than the Saints and Broncos on Sunday. After Jeff Driscoll tested positive, and each of the quarterbacks on the rosters were with him without mask on, and Denver was left without a quarterback. So they turned to a practice squad receiver, Kendall Hilton. He played that position in college, and he did his best. He didn't get one snap under center during the week. And they really didn't have a chance. They were blown out 31-3. And there's plenty of blame to go around. Denver head coach Vic Fangio said his quarterbacks were reckless. Others pointed to the NFL. They pushed back other games, but they didn't in this case. They really seem determined to punish the Broncos, and they're really determined to get this season in on time. But the reality of the coronavirus might be it's going to get in the way. Sunday's game was a mess, but you get the feeling that's not the last time the league has to make a decision that no one is happy with. And when I'm watching this game, I love this tweet that was sent out. It was Kevin Clark, and he tweets out, the idea of a game without quarterbacks is more fun than an actual game without quarterbacks. I'd love to see every team do this. Every team, like one Sunday out of the year. Every team has to play without a quarterback, a designated quarterback on their roster. I don't know what it'll look like, but yesterday with the Broncos, that was about as embarrassing as it can get. Now, Denver did the best that they could, but it felt like the NFL says, oh, you're not going to wear your mask in a room with all the quarterbacks, then you're going to basically be without quarterbacks here. Then you got the Ravens situation. Who knows? I think they're playing tomorrow, but I don't know. And then they were going to play on Thursday, but they're not playing on Thursday. It's a mess. And we're getting right up to the line. We're getting right up to that line where the NFL is going to have to add another playoff team and another week of games. I thought this was going to be the week where they just said, hey, you know what? We can't get these games in. The competitive balance is at stake. And really, that's the key. I don't want you to go full speed ahead like baseball did. Hey, we don't care how many games you play. Let's just get to the postseason. The NFL has to put out something that resembles NFL football, and they didn't do that. If you're a warm body, you're playing for the Baltimore Ravens tomorrow. That's the feeling I get. Maybe even if you're not that warm, you're still going to be playing for the Ravens. And to me, that's an embarrassment for the NFL. There were a couple of games that stood out. That Denver game certainly did. 49ers are now in a jam. That's a horrible, or I should say the Rams, a horrible loss for the Rams. You got to win those games. Where's your offense there? They had offense, and then they had no offense yesterday. Patrick Mahomes beats Tom Brady. In yesterday's loss, Tampa dropped to 1-5 this season against quarterbacks who have started Super Bowls. They lost to Drew Brees twice. And now they lost to Mahomes, Nick Foles, and Jared Goff. They did defeat Aaron Rodgers. Against all the other quarterbacks, they're 6-0. They still have to face Matt Ryan, though, again. Brady has thrown 11 interceptions this season, including 9 at home. That ties for the most picks he's had at home in any season. You go back to 2006 when he had 9. Kansas City kept them in the game. As great as Mahomes is and Tyreek Hill, by the way, I know Bruce Arians has forgotten more football than I know, but at some point I probably don't do man-to-man coverage on Tyreek Hill. I mean, call me crazy, but after he's got, 200 receiving yards, I go, maybe we don't cover him with one guy straight up there. But they did, but they stayed in the game. You got Seahawks and Eagles tonight. I can't wait for the headline tomorrow because it's either going to be Carson Wentz did something really good, Wentz did something bad, Jalen Hurts did something really good, Jalen Hurts did something really bad. And then you throw in Russell Wilson. Can he add to what has been a MVP-like season? Any objections to what I said a couple of weeks ago? Patrick Mahomes is the MVP, and right now it's not even close, but he's underrated. Anybody? Yeah, exactly. You saw that yesterday. It's incredible what he's done. I don't know if the team is great, but he is, and Tyreek Hill is great. You still have Kelsey in there. The defense is bendable, but it doesn't look like it's breakable. And that offense is good enough to get you. They're up 17-0. Now I make Brady one-dimensional. That completely changed the complexion of this. And I don't put all of this on Brady. I don't know what game Tony Romo was watching at times, because it felt like this was what I think happened. Now, I don't have any information. This is just me knowing what happens usually during the week. Tony Romo probably got on a Zoom call, Tom Brady, and they probably started chatting a little bit as quarterbacks do. And then Tom probably said something, and then Tony said something. And man, that offense, and I don't know, is that the offense you ran in New England? Certainly looks different. Are they asking you to do different things? And then all of a sudden, Tom probably unloaded on him a little bit. And therefore, it felt like Tony Romo was going out of his way to say, this isn't on Tom Brady. Well, Tom Brady picked Bruce Arians. Maybe he didn't have a lot to pick from, the Bears and the Chargers and Tampa, but he chose this. It's on him. That personality, that style, all of those weapons, that's on him. But it feels like there's a little bit of a fracture there. Just a little bit. Or at least there's some tremors there. But hey, by the way, Brady did congratulate Patrick Mahomes after the game. So there is progress there. Yes, Paulie.
Romo was crushing the Bucs in the first half, but then at the end of the game, he goes, these two teams are going to play again. And Nance was like, what was that tone?
They're not playing again this year. Tampa's going to be on the road for the playoffs, the entire playoffs. Kansas City, they might be on the road for a game if they end up in Pittsburgh. But Tampa, the way they're playing, I don't see that happening.